And Donovan Sharp, and welcome to this, the fifth edition of the How to Relationship Podcast. I, of course, am joined by the lovely and talented Devon. Devon, how are you tonight?
I'm doing great. I'm glad the Eagles won
Yes!
decisively on Monday night,
Yes,
which
yes,
was a
yes,
lot
yes,
of fun to
yes.
watch with you. Made you chicken wings, and
Yes.
it was good. Yeah. This week has been a little challenging, but we get the bad weather coming in today, and it's just so muggy and gross. But
Yes,
it's
yes.
supposed to be like fall tomorrow, which will be really nice. It's like a 65 degrees. So
Okay.
you know me, I love that. Open the windows up, air the house
Okay,
out.
all right,
Yeah,
good
I love the
stuff.
fall.
All right, yeah. So if I seem a little, just a tinge bit distracted today, it's because Heather is not here today. She couldn't find, or her sitter could not make it today, so she couldn't find an alternate babysitter. So it's on us to pretty much do everything. Quick confession: I am unshowered. I have not taken a shower. I always say to myself, I'm going to take a shower before the podcast, but there's always there's always so much to do. I almost never get around to it.
Lucky for you, they haven't invented smell-o-vision yet. You remember smell-o-vision?
No, I don't
From
remember.
you can't do that on
smell-o-vision.
television.
Oh, I remember you can't do that on television. I do not remember. I do not
They're
remember
like,
smell-o-vision.
imagine if you could smell through your TV.
Oh,
like-
that would be that would be the game changer, to be able to.
No, we would have a podcast called Walter's Farts.
Oh my God, yeah. Walter.
Nobody would
Jesus
watch
Christ.
ever.
Yeah. By the way, you need to clip his nails because
Alright.
dude, he's killing me with those. So today is going to be kind of a little bit of a different. I think every Thursday, I think it's probably good to do this. So every Thursday we're going to do a Q&A. If you guys have questions, you guys are more than welcome to put them in the chat, or you can jump on the Zoom link. We have I actually remembered it this time
Oh. you
to
put
pin
it
the
in
Zoom
chat?
link. Yes, I pinned the Zoom link.
Cool.
Into the chat. So, but we are streaming live to all of the platforms. I'm talking all 4 or 5 of my YouTube channels. I think we're live on Manosphere.tv, MGTOW.tv, D Live, Sharp Stream. We're live all over the place.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this is definitely going to get out. So today, guys, we are so like I said, today we're going to do sort of a Q&A. We're going to answer some of the comments that you guys have been kind enough, and some not so kind enough, to leave us in our what's that?
Not so kind.
Not so kind enough to leave us in our comments. Don't quit messing with the cat. Move that so I can see the.
Okay.
That's all right. Black Lemur 2009 is in the house. He says that new skit was hilarious. I appreciate that very much. I actually just released that
Which one
today
was
at
that
6
one?
o'clock. That was the one where we compared strong and independent women to the kinds of men who like the Kardashians and things of
Are
that
emotionally
nature.
vulnerable and
Yes.
super attractive.
Yes. Super duper. Super attractive. So, at any rate, it's good to have you guys. It's good to have you guys in here today. So let's go ahead and get started. So what we're gonna do is you guys can put your questions in the chat, and we'll answer the questions as they come in. If you have a question or if you want advice, whatever the case may be about relationships, strictly relationships. I'm not talking about, hey man, there's this girl that I really like. How do I open her? No. If you have a question about a relationship you are already in or a relationship that you are about to be in, those are the kinds of questions we want.
I like the ones where there's this girl at work that I really like.
God, dude.
How do I ask her out?
Yeah, well, the Boston Celtics head coach is clearly a cautionary tale on why you should never. I tell guys all the time, don't smash your coworkers, man. And for whatever reason, dudes just always seem to. Oh, wait a minute, I thought that was the transparency. And for whatever reason, dudes. I mean, he's the Boston Celtics. Oh, and by the way, he's married to Nia Long, which is interesting because one chick in the comments section, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months back, was like, oh yeah, well, Nia Long is now married to, and I can't pronounce his name. He has a very difficult name to pronounce. And I was like, oh, okay, well, shout out to Nia Long. But guess what? Nia Long figured out what all women who belong to high value men eventually do figure out. And that is that men with options are going to exercise those options.
Yes, a lot of guys have been quote unquote caught cheating this week in the headlines. So
who else got caught cheating?
Adam Levine.
Oh, that's right. Adam Levine.
DMing an OnlyFans Instagram type girl, and she put his business out there.
Oh boy.
And his wife is like 8 months pregnant. So.
Oh boy. How dare she? How dare she? How dare he talk to someone? Yeah. OMG.
Yeah. And he's just like, I was inappropriate, but I didn't cheat.
Hit the stop the cap button. Thank you. That's just all there is to that. Oh, that came through this. Mm-hmm. I wonder if people, so people can hear us. So we're able to hear through the, we're actually able to hear. We would not have been able to hear that normally, but I think I just accidentally figured out. I wonder if they could hear it. Hit the stop the cap again. Oh, they can't hear it. We can, but they can't. Oh. So here's what I'm going to do. Now let's get, there we go. Do it again.
Stop the cap.
Hey, there we go. There we go. Okay, so we figured that out. All right, very good. So yes, we do it live, man. We do it live. So Adam Levine needs to stop the cap. Dude, you're Adam freaking Levine. You're going to holler. Now, Adam, you can't be messy. You're Adam Levine. You're a celebrity. A lot of these guys who have clout, celebrity, etc. A lot of these guys make the egregious mistake of thinking that these girls are not going to put him out on blast.
Yeah.
They end up learning the hard way. Okay, so let's go to the comments here.
Okay.
So we're going to go to the comments here just to kind of see where you guys, and again, this is going to be a little bit choppy. I want you guys to understand that we are still sort of trying to work through a lot of these issues. Was kind of the same with the with Studio B. My first ever guest at Studio B was Myron Gaines. Yeah, that went surprisingly smooth. The very week after that, the Terrence Pop episode didn't go quite so well. Then Kevin Samuels went well, and so on and so forth. So, at any rate, let's go ahead and read some of these comments and respond.
Okay.
Mutaura Munimo says she's richer than him. She has options too. That was a comment in response to the Tom Brady Gisele Bündchen discussion we had.
Okay.
So, agree, disagree?
I mean, I agree. Kind of.
Okay.
There will always be men like hitting on her. She's a beautiful woman. Mm-hmm. She's got a lot of money. She carries herself well, but will they compare to Tom Brady in her eyes? Probably not so much.
There you go. No, I strongly disagree.
She has options. She has want them.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. He said she's richer than them. She has options too. So what he said was the reason why she has options too is because she's richer than him.
No.
And guys, I've said this for years. That, and Myron actually says this more succinctly, but I don't think he explains it as well as I do. He says the more money women make, the more doors close. The more money a man makes, the more doors open, which is true, but only in a relationship sense. The more money anybody makes, man or woman, the more doors open. It doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman. If you make into the seven figures, guess what? Ferrari dealerships, Bugatti dealerships, those doors are going to start opening.
Right.
What Myron is talking about is with regards to relationships. And what I used to say back in the day is the more money a woman makes, the more status, the more clout, the more toys, etc., the further she shrinks her pool of potential suitors. And so Gisele Bündchen is clearly worth millions and millions of dollars. He says she has options too. Yeah, listen, I'm sure that there are going to be men out here who are more than happy to smash her. But again, she's going. If she were to divorce Tom Brady, she would literally be a 42-year-old single mother, and the baby daddy is 7-time Super Bowl champion Tom Brady. Yeah. Nobody's going to compare to that. I said she wasn't going nowhere, and she's not going anywhere.
No, definitely not. Do you think that the feminist type of agenda, like they try to say that men aren't emasculated if their women make more money than them? However, the truth, like it sounds good, like it's a good soundbite, like it sounds like it should be true, but it isn't still to this day. So for them to say she has options too, it's like he's swallowing the lie.
Yes.
Because yes, she might have options, but it's not going to be Tom Brady worthy options.
No, it's not.
And not only that, of course, there's always going to be the type of guy who wants to date a rich, beautiful woman, but is it going to work long term?
No, of course it's
no,
not.
because at the end of the day, she's going to run all over him, and the relationship will fall apart because he's not in a position to lead.
Well, not only that, you said it before. Giselle's options, should her and Brady divorce, they're not going to be nearly as good as the options as Tom has. Tom Brady is my age. He's 45 years old.
Yeah.
Dude, if Tom Brady were newly single father or not, dude, he's going to have 19, 20, 21-year-old chicks all over him. Giselle's not. Now, here's the thing. Women Giselle's age don't want men that are younger than they are. They want men that are a little bit older, more established. Somebody with gray in his beard.
Well, they want men that are younger with them in that post-divorce euphoria.
How do you mean?
Because after they first kind of like Larsa Pippen
is
going through.
Yes.
Where right when the breakup happens in that first year or two after that post-divorce euphoria, they will snag any guy who'll give them any attention.
Well, see, this was go ahead.
Sorry, because they're going to be like, oh, these younger guys want me, I still got it, Right. So if the younger guys want me, the older guys definitely still want me.
Sure.
So it helps inflate their ego to get them through those tough times.
And you went through the post-divorce euphoria. It lasted for 6 months, but you did too. That's why you can speak to that. You're acting like you have no idea what I'm talking about. You're right.
Cap.
Yeah, younger men are definitely going to want to smash Giselle just to say, yeah, I smashed Giselle Bundchen. But they're not thinking about her seriously for a long... Nobody's thinking about marrying Giselle Bundchen and building a house with a moat and a white picket fence. Nobody is doing that, especially at 42 as a single mother. I don't care what anybody says. So we're saying that what we're going to say is that I agree with him that she has options too, but if the options are crappy, that doesn't really count. If that makes perfect sense.
No. And it sounds like all she really wants is a father to her children and someone to live life with. And if you're going to have someone competing in the Tom Brady category, that guy ain't going to have a tons of free time to be spending with some other dude's kids anyway. So
listen, and we said this before, a titan of the industry is not going to be he's not going to be the world's best father. That's just all there is to it.
Right.
Okay, so it appears that we have somebody on the Zoom line. Yarrow Space. Hang on a second.
Spence.
Oh, Yarrow Spence. My friend, you're going to have to before I give you the okay to unmute yourself, you're going to have to show yourself on camera. If you do not show yourself on camera, then I will not let you on. So I'm gonna give you a few minutes. I'm gonna give you a few minutes to show yourself on camera while we go to the next comment here. But if you don't show yourself here in about another minute, I'm gonna kick you off. Okay, so let's go to the next one here. So Xavier says, you guys leave out a little that he married an alpha female who is tired of losing in public battles and publicity to the GOAT. What are your thoughts on that? You think he's, what are we doing here?
I don't understand the point of that comment.
Well, he said alpha female. Do you agree or disagree that there's such a thing as an alpha female? Because a lot of women like to endorse this alpha female type thing.
Alpha female thing is a little misconstrued. Alpha female is supposed to translate into a successful, beautiful woman, right? In that case, yes, she could be considered an alpha female. But an alpha female in reality is the loudest, most abrasive, in your face.
Yes.
Aggressive woman in the room. So it really it's usually the alpha females in reality is the most annoying woman in the room, not the most feminine and most valuable woman in the room, put it that way.
Gotcha. I do apologize for that. I completely screwed the pooch on that.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Whew, man, oh man.
I got you.
There's no such thing as an alpha female. Dev. There's just no such thing. I can't tell you why there's no such thing. Well, the reason why there's no such thing as an alpha female is because it's not a woman's job to lead. Women are not cut out to lead. Sometimes women do have to lead in the absence of males. Mm-hmm. World War II, the black community, to name a couple. But when it comes down to it, women are supposed to follow and men are supposed to lead. So when Xavier, who I'm going to call Xaviera because she said, you guys leave out The little detail that he married an alpha female who is tired of losing in public battles, that has to be a woman, because why would Giselle be losing it? This is a marriage. They're on the same team. They're not competing.
I don't understand that. No one's dogging her. No, she's not losing any wars
No.
going on here. I mean, if anything, I would be very surprised if she even co-signs on any of this stuff becoming public.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. So, sorry, Xaviera. I actually knew a girl. Her name was Xaviera. I can't say her last name, but I worked with her in a call center, and she was hood as hell. Her name was Xaviera. I actually thought she had, Xaviera. Geeky not only in the chat says alpha female equals a dude. Totally understand that.
Yeah, like an alpha female is like the female boss that you hate to be on shift with, you know?
There's no such thing as an alpha female. See, if a woman any woman who calls herself, any woman who calls herself an alpha female is just a bitch. That's just it.
That's what I was saying.
Right.
Yeah.
She's over. So the quote unquote. So when we say alpha female, I'm just going to use air quotes because there's no such thing. Alpha females are a pain in the ass to put up with. Alpha females are always trying to prove that they're alpha. I'm not here for it.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Okay, let's go to the end. The whoever that was booted because they didn't want to show up on camera.
You have to ask them to turn the video
I
on?
did. I asked them to turn on the video, and he or she did not.
Okay.
But all right, I'm gonna put the link, the Zoom link in the chat again. It is pinned. If you guys have any questions, comments, you want to add to the conversation, etc., just let us know.
I think Mike had a question. Scroll up a little.
Michael Matroke. Oh wow! Oh boy, Mike Matroke is getting personal. Michael Matroke, let's go ahead and bring up the let's bring up the super chat section. So Michael Matroke wants to know what do you like about each other the most, physically or well, I mean I don't know.
Let's do one physical, one non-physical.
Okay, you first.
Okay.
I already know what the physical is.
So it's attractive. Oh, what do I like?
My skin. Physically, you love my skin.
Well, I like your size. I like your height. I like your shoulders.
Oh.
I like you make me feel safe. That's something that I really like.
Okay.
I remember when we first met. I don't know, because
I was big. You say you make me feel small. That's what you said.
I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what. And as far as otherwise, I like your. It's like I like and I hate it at the same time, but like how boisterous and excitable you are. Because like the first time we watched a movie together was Finding Dory.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was on the plane on the way to Hawaii.
Yeah, to Hawaii, and you turned into a 5-year-old almost.
Oh,
like you were
Jesus
just like
Christ.
so. Like, well, you really enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, all right.
And it was contagious. You know, so it made me enjoy it even more. So.
Yeah. Listen, man, that was actually a very fun flight. I will say that. My favorite physical thing about you is your ass. And it's your ass. Jesus Christ,
really?
Man. Yeah. 100%.
My ass now or my ass 5 years ago?
Your ass now definitely looks better. And this is interesting. So your boobs were my favorite feature when we first met. You have enhanced. So clearly, I paid for the boob enhancement, which has definitely been worthwhile. As you guys get a good look at there. But your ass. Now you always had a very shapely hindquarters, but you have busted your ass in the gym, literally and figuratively. And now there's still a little bit of room for improvement, but I like where it's going. Boobs, dude, and you have, dude. Honestly, man. I don't know which I think are sexier, your legs or your ass. Your whole lower body, 100%. The thing that I like the most about you that is non-physical, I would probably say your willingness to comply. Every once in a while, I will give you instructions, and sometimes, and you haven't done it in a while. You used to push back a little bit, but now you trust me implicitly, and I think that's probably my favorite thing about you is because everything that I do for this relationship and us, it's just not just for kicks and giggles. It's because there's a how can I put this? There's a purpose for it. There's a purpose
and
for
for
it.
the longest time, it took me, like I wouldn't necessarily push back, but I would question things, and that would just show that, hey, I don't trust you.
Yes.
You know, if I just take you at your word, do what you say, things turn out. It's always going to turn out.
Yes.
Like it hasn't not yet turned out.
That's right.
So,
That's right. And listen, I don't get them all. I don't get everything right. I make mistakes. I make errors along the way, but my track record relative to my mistakes is pretty damn good.
It is.
It's pretty good. So Yarrow Spence, I'll tell you what, Yarrow, jump back in. I'm gonna take a chance here. I'm going to allow you to jump back in to the Zoom call because it sounds like you have a really, really good question for us, and I need a little bit more detail. Devin and I need a little bit more detail before we can give you any advice on this. So while you're jumping in, we'll go to the next comment here.
Okay.
So the next comment is, this show is male chauvinistic.
Which one?
This show, because that's, she's commenting on the How to Relationship podcast chat.
Okay.
So what are your thoughts on that?
Sure.
You think it is?
Yeah.
It's interesting. Women who hear of us, Olivia just discovered Andrew Tate. And this is funny, on, I think it was our Sunday Zoom call, somebody told me that you're lucky to have Olivia because she's a Gen Zer. She knows what's hip. She knows what's, this and that and the other. And so the other day she was over here. She's like, oh my God, there's this funny guy. His name is Andrew Tate. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. And she thought Andrew Tate was such a joke and this and that and the third, blah, 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 blah. And so I had to explain to her the way they're positioning this makes him sound like a joke. But if you really listen to what he says, he's telling the truth. So people that
there's a propaganda of clowning him in order to
paint him in a certain way.
Yeah.
Yep, that's exactly right. And so women like Janet Joseph, she's probably never even watched the show. She probably has no idea what the show is about. And people say, oh, you're chauvinistic, you're misogynistic, blah, 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 blah. They're basing that off of clips that people use to propagandize what they're trying to propagandize.
What's the word for like a female chauvinist?
Oh, you mean the female word for a misogynist?
No, that's a misandrist.
Oh, I don't know what the female word for chauvinist. Feminist.
I guess.
I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be, if anyone who expresses an opinion can be called anything.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
of course.
We're not here trying to put women down. We're trying here to raise them up.
Yes, of course.
And help them be successful in relationships rather than on again, off again, on again, off again.
There you go. That's exactly right.
Emotional damage and all kinds of stuff.
Emotional damage. Geeky Anomaly says, Top G, I got 2 Bugattis, doesn't matter. Love it. Love it. I think my Andrew Tate impression is pretty good. I might actually add him to the spoof of the 6.
Has Kona ever been on the show?
Kona's never been on the show. So this is our oldest cat, Kona. She just turned 4 years old. On the 15th. Mm-hmm. She just turned 4 years old on the 15th.
She just creeps
shout
around
out to
here,
Kona.
super quiet.
That's all she does. Kona
anything.
is the most well-behaved cat ever. She really, really is. She never causes any trouble. Her throwing up has actually gotten a little bit better.
Yeah.
It has actually.
Yeah.
And so
all of the cats, all of our problems have been resolved.
Why? What did we? And I know this is off topic, but I'm gonna open up another Zoom link for Yarrow Spence. I'm going to open up another Zoom link so that we can get him in here because I kicked him out and it's not going to let him back in. But why? What did we do that cured our? What did we do that cured our cats? What did we do?
I don't know. We rearranged a lot of stuff.
Okay.
So this area kind of used to be their space.
Yes, it did.
Now that doesn't smell like them anymore, and none of their stuff is in here.
Mostly.
And we got the second litter robot.
That's right.
So they have, we have 4 animals, 4 cats. So
yes, we have two litter robots, guys.
Yeah, litter robots, dude.
Oh my God, that thing is awesome.
Because every time a cat goes in and leaves, it'll spin, it'll sift the litter, and then so there's always fresh.
Okay.
And so now we have 2 of them, so there's always a clean place.
Yes,
to go.
yes.
Yeah, and I think that really helped. That and we stopped free feeding them so much. Like we were filling up their bowls every single day. Like they have 4 bowls. We were filling them to the brim every day.
Right.
And they would just eat and then throw it all up
Yes,
everywhere.
yes,
So now we only put a quarter cup of food in each bowl, and each one has a preferred bowl that they use. So it kind of knocks down on how much they're consuming. So
yeah, I think we took a couple of measures. I do like the fact that that was the first thing we did. There's the new Zoom link, Yarrow Spence. If you want to jump in, I just put it there. I'm going to pin this one because the other one is no good anymore. Yeah, the interesting thing is I think it did start with us sort of, and this is the way we problem solve. Yeah. This is the way we problem solve in our own relationships, in our own relationship. That's just always how we've done it. We took measures. We said, okay, this is the problem. This is the issue. We really need to get this problem solved. We got the problem solved, and there it was. Okay, so, all right, Yarrow Spence, good to see you on here, man. Okay, so let me go to all right, very good. All right, Yarrow, so let me switch the sound here. So what's going on with your lady, man? Tell us what's happening here.
So first off, I love my mom to death. That as most of us do.
Of course.
I think the big thing for me was my mom is she had me at 17, 18 years old. Like she did what she needed to do. She made 6 figures. She got her life together. Okay. She did what she needed to do, and she always preaches, stay out of my pocketbook. You feel me? As long as you're not in my pocketbook, I don't care what you're doing with your life. And for me, that I'm the oldest of 4. Okay. I don't know my biological father. He was killed in Houston when I was younger. So the only person I've always had was my mom. I've always had her back. I've always been a rider, and regardless of what my mom needed, I'm always there.
Okay.
As Tom got older, a lot of the things that my mom used to tell me, like little stuff, like when I was in high school, there was this girl that I used to that I had a crush on or whatever, and she worked at Chipotle. So my mom used to crack jokes like, Spencer, you really want to get her? You gotta go up to Chipotle and ask her for some guac and chips.
Okay.
And she was like, just be smooth with it. So I was like, okay, cool, Ma. All right, I'm gonna do it. Went up to the school. The girl straight up got embarrassed and left. She hid in the back of the kitchen, never came out.
Damn.
So
it happens.
And she never even gave me the guac and chips. So I didn't even know that she was embarrassed.
Okay.
So I didn't even know she was embarrassed. So I was kind of just sitting around, and it just made it worse. Okay. Long story short, the whole next day at school, it was like, dang, man, you pulling up to her job, bro. That's creepy as crap. And, and my mom didn't have no malice in it. She was just trying to put me on game.
Yeah, right.
And, little things like that was like my big gap. So I've never been like the dude to always get girls, but I've always been the guy to stay on the hustle. I can always get a shawty, but I can't never get it to where it's like, all right, let's make this an actual growing thing. It's always something. I'm like, no, you're not gonna mess with my hustle. Fast forward to kind of like what happened now. So I'm in the military. I got out. I'm finishing up. I'm just trying to get my life together and whatnot. Good. And I was just telling my mom, I was like, hey, as long as I'm focused on what I need to do, as long as I handle my business, as long as I do what I need to do, I don't make no excuses. I don't put myself in a bad position. I'm not real big on the victim thing. I'm real big on y'all and Fresh and Fit. She's kind of was like, well, Spencer, if you not focused on her, then how you expect to get a woman? You ain't never gonna get no woman like that. You ain't never gonna get you. She ain't gonna stay around. She just gonna take advantage of you. She just gonna see you as a bag. And I'm explaining, and I was trying to explain to her. I said, I'm not trying to be used as taken advantage of, but if she look at me as a bag, isn't that a good thing? Because that means that I did what I need to do to get it. And it built up so much of an argument to the point where it's like she felt like, Spencer, you ain't never gonna get no woman. You ain't gonna acting like that. You ain't never gonna have no girl. You need to be making sure that your girl is happy. Another little side story. My grandparents, they ain't never been together. My grandpa was married for literally 30 days. Wow. So like they got a divorce the same way. So marriage has not been like in my family. Okay. So I don't know how to explain it to her, because now we're at the point where it's like we're not really speaking because she feels how she feels. But I'm just trying to explain to her, like, Ma, I didn't really have a male role model, and the only dudes that's been around, all of them gang banging, and they in the hood, right. Like they out here in the street. So, and it's like, I can't look up to y'all. I came up out of the military. So like what I look like going back to catch a felony, you know?
Right. Oh, hell
So
no.
it's, you know, and it's like, I just don't know how to, and I guess I'm just looking for genuine advice. You know, I don't want to talk too much on y'all show.
No,
but
you're good.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions here. How old are you?
I'm 26.
Oh, he's a young guy. He's a young guy. Okay. So the first thing I'll tell you, and I'll let you go because you look like you've got a few things.
I just have a question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Did your mother ever remarry?
She did. She remarried when I got to middle school, but he's not. That's her husband. That's not my daddy.
Okay.
I just leave it like that. Okay, you know, like enough. He's everything that my mama wanted. You know, but he's not the. I don't know how to really speak on that. You know, okay, I know we got fine. People on here, but yeah, but fine. She did remarry. They've been together for like 10, 12 years. Okay. Like they've been together for a minute, but it was hell and hot water watching them go through their relationship, you know?
Okay. So your contention with you, so it sounds to me like your mother is telling you, hey, you need to make your woman happy, do whatever it takes to make her happy. Because if you don't do that, then a woman is never going to stick around. Is that accurate?
That's what it seems like. That's ultimately yes, sir. Yes, okay. Yes. Now you know.
And I like what you said when you said your mother said, hey, if she marries you, she has to feel like you get the bag. But then you said, well, if I feel like I'm the bag, doesn't it mean I'm doing the right thing? That's sort of a multi-layered thing. Who used the word the bag? Was it you or her?
She did.
Okay. This is when women say the bag, and some, I think you might have to maybe ask your mother to define bag. Now, the first and foremost, I'll tell you, your mother loves you very much and she wants nothing but the best for you. So does mine. But like my mother, your mother is giving you very bad advice. And because you're dealing with modern women, you're not dealing with the kinds of women that your mother either was or used to know. And listen, due respect, your mother was divorced and remarried, so she doesn't exactly have the best track record in terms of relationships. But that's neither here nor there. I just want you to understand the context from which I'm talking about here. Your mother, women are, and this is why we tell men, especially men your age, do not take relationship advice from females, including your mother. Like you, I took all the relationship advice from my mother when I was in my 20s. When I'm getting played by a girl, I'm like, Mom, I think Allison or Stacy is cheating on me. Well, you have to let her know. You have to let her know how you feel. I would come on stronger, and they would cheat even more and eventually leave. I eventually got married. My ex-wife was acting up. My mom said, hey, you have to make her feel cherished. So I started doing chores around the house. My mother wanted to help. She really, really thought she was helping me. But most women have never dated women. And even if they did, they've never dated another woman as a man. A woman dating a woman, that can give them a little bit of insight, but not nearly as much as it would dating a woman as a man. This is why you should only take relationship advice from men. So let me ask you this. You said, if I'm the bag and a woman gets me, doesn't that mean I'm doing something right? Is that what you asked?
Yes.
Okay.
And she kind of wrapped it up and was like, Spencer, you sound like a dumbass. You sound like a fool. You sound like X, Y. You know.
Yeah.
She was just like, you really about to let these girls run over you type deal. And that's where the conversation kind of got mute, you know, because I'm like, I don't really know how to respond to that. You know, I was just like, I was just trying to explain to her, if I'm doing what I need to do, and whoever my future wife is, if she wants the best out of the world, and I'm working my ass off to give myself the best in the world, she just kind of want to tag along with what I'm already working with. So I was like, okay, cool. But I don't think that's transferred over. I don't know if that's the right word.
You're absolutely right. Have you got a thought on that?
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like your mom is trying to protect you by hoping that these girls don't use you for whatever you're working hard for.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know, not only is she giving bad advice as relationship advice, like she never had a good relationship to be a model for herself.
Yeah, of course.
So it sounds to me as though she finally found a guy who is willing to fall into her program, and that's why she's happy.
Right.
And now she's thinking that happiness is going to be look the same way for
there you
him.
Go. Wow.
When really, like, hey, she's never seen a man successfully lead a relationship. So she feels as though they both need to be on the same page and have the same everything.
The same level.
And that's really a recipe for disaster. What you're really looking for is a woman who's going to support you in all your endeavors. I don't speak hustle or whatever, but you want a woman who supports that and adds value to that and helps you in doing that. So if there's a difference between being taken advantage of and finding someone who's actually going to help boost you in that right direction. Even if you don't need it, it's still nice to have.
And I'll tell you something else too. There's a big difference. There is a difference between a woman taking advantage of you and a woman benefiting from being with you. Here's the difference. A woman who benefits from being with you is a woman who has earned what she gets from you. If you're giving her your team, your time, your energy, your attention and your money or your resources, if you're giving that to her and she's not giving you anything in return, and a lot of guys think that sex is just, as long as she's sleeping with me, then that's enough. No. She's given sex to other men. What she's giving you is what she's given to all other men. She's not going to value it as much. But a woman who benefits from you is a woman who earns her place in your life. So, and I said all that to say this. I'm going to bring this back around because I know your mind is swimming right now. What are your relationship goals right now?
Right now, my at first I was really pressed about a relationship. Good. Military. We all want to get married young. I came. I got out at 26. I still want a family. I want to be a dad. I want my own football team out here in Dallas, Texas. All of that jazz.
Sure.
It's so that I was real. I'm real big on a family, but I kind of understand okay, you got to take your time. You got to build yourself up. You can't just be out here just thinking you're going to get married tomorrow and you got to actually have something that's worth marrying, so for me, I'm not pressing it. It's not but I do want company. I do want company. And I think I've ran into, because this is, and maybe this is my issue, Don, and I'm asking because I haven't seen I don't really know what I should be taking as, okay, she's doing XYZ outside of sex. It could be something as small as just folding clothes I just finished washing or something like that.
Right.
Is that the type of things that stuff that's more actually helping, that's going to help me even just in my place is peace at home? Or is it just okay, she just answers me back? Because I think that's where I'm trying to decipher what actually is her actually committing. Because I can get girls to text back. Having sex isn't an issue, really. It's the seriousness.
The other stuff.
That's it.
It's them investing in you.
Yep. Dude, you took the words right out of my mouth. When a woman invests, so the first thing I'll tell you, the reason I asked you how old you were and what your relationship goals are was to let you know that at 26 years old, you shouldn't be thinking about anything close to a long-term relationship for at least another decade. And I know that sounds like a long time. You said, I want company. What you're going to have to learn how to do, as a man especially, is you're going to have to learn how to thrive in solitude, okay? Women need companionship. And at some point, men need companionship, but men, we can't fully take advantage of companionship until we realize what it's like to truly be alone. We hear women all the time say, well, I can't be happy with someone else unless I'm happy alone. I got news for you. Women are never happy alone. They never are. They never have been. They never will be. Men, on the other hand, are very, very happy alone by themselves. Myron and Fresh, they're out here playing the field. They're alone. Perfectly fine. Better Bachelor, Joker, he's going to be 50 in a few months. He's more than happy alone traveling around on his bus. Before I met Devon, I was alone in Vegas, slaying hoes, doing this and that. I was very, very happy.
You were anything but alone.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't let these bitches spend the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What you're talking about, caller, is companionship. I understand, and trust me when I tell you, I appreciate having someone as a companion, but I could not appreciate her as much as I do now if I did not learn how to thrive in solitude. And the reason for this is because nothing's guaranteed, because our relationship could end tomorrow. Listen, we have this great relationship and our 6-year anniversary is coming up in January, but it could end.
Congratulations.
At any time. Right. It could end at any time, at any reason, or for no reason at all. So I needed to make sure that before I committed to this relationship, that I could not just be exist. You need to thrive in solitude. Make money, make muscles, learn game, learn frame. This is MLD. Let's move to the next part of what you said a little bit earlier.
Yes,
Not only that, a man who thrives in solitude is very attractive to a woman.
Yes.
Because he doesn't need the outside influence of other people. She doesn't have to worry about what his mom's saying or anything like that. It's just, okay, he's alone, he's driven, nothing can knock him off the square.
And that's what attracted you to me. Am I wrong? Because
one of the things.
Yeah, I don't rely on anybody but myself. And so when you learn how to thrive, and when I say thrive, I mean kick ass by yourself, then you can start thinking about maybe inviting women into your life. Now, what Devin said earlier is 100% correct. So you asked us, what are some of the behaviors that will show me that she has value to me outside of the bedroom? It's when she it's when she invests her time into you. And I'll give you a scenario. We have most modern women these days they'll see you, they'll hook up with you, they'll exchange texts with you. Every once in and if they want something serious with you, they'll maybe cook you a meal or two, maybe they'll clean your spot once or twice, maybe they'll do laundry. But they don't do it for an extended period of time. Then as soon as you ask her to be in a relationship, all of that stops, okay? Because she was really faking the funk. What needs to happen is a woman needs to invest her time, her energy, her attention, and her emotions into you for at least 1 year without entertaining any other guys. You understand what I mean? That's how you know a woman is into you.
Understood.
I call this plan A energy. When you are a woman's plan A, you know it. She's blown up your phone. She's always at your crib. You're always at her place. Hey, let's go do this. Let's go do that. Here, I made this for you. I want to do that for you. Let's take trips, et cetera, et cetera. She will also invest her money because, listen, we live in 2022. Women make money too. And when a woman invests money, when she spends money on you, she adores you. Those are the things that I can tell. Those are things I can tell you. Maybe you can give him some other ideas. What are some of the things that you did for me that let me know that, hey?
I mean, there are women who are very good at like anticipating your needs. So if, for example, if she shows kindness and thoughtfulness of you like ahead of time, like, oh, I knew he was going to need this. I have it for him. That really shows that you're in her mind and that she's thinking about you when she's not with you. And, you know, like, for example, when you went on a road trip, I made you a Spotify playlist.
The mixtape.
Mixtape, because then you had 5 hours to yourself. Well, like, here, you know, let him know that I'm thinking about him, even if he's not thinking about me. That is a very strong indicator that she might have the potential to be good quality. Not talking about superficial investing, like, oh, I'll get dinner this time, you get dinner next time.
Anybody can do that.
Anybody can do that. That's not investing. Investing is, you know, seeing that you move into a new place and she brings over a house plant and a crock pot or something, you know, that.
Or you offhandedly mention, oh man, I got a hole in my socks. I need new socks. And then the next time she comes over, she has socks. Or she notices that you're low on toothpaste or mouthwash. And the next time when she does things for you without you having to ask her, that's when you know if a woman is paying attention to you and reacting to the things that she observes, that's when she has the potential to be a good long-term.
Yeah, did she change the toilet paper roll?
Oh, that's another good one. Yes.
It's already empty, but right before it ends.
Listen, when a woman, dude, here's some other ideas. She brings you lunch at work. She cooks for you at your place. She cooks for you at her place. And it's so funny because most modern women, especially women right around your age range, they don't understand that this is important to men like you. But I will tell you this. If you truly want a family, and this will have to be a whole nother conversation. You're 26 years old, right? If you truly want a family, let me think. Let me do some math here. So by the time you're 35, that's 9 years from now. Truthfully, the women that are going to be the women that are going to be the most ready or the most malleable right around 9 or 10 years old. So by the time you're 35, these girls are going to be 18 years old. See, this is what I do. Hey, look at me. That's what I don't need. You understand? Hey, I'm being dead serious. We're live on the air right now. I'm trying to give somebody advice. Don't be laughing like this is some joke. This is fucking serious. I'm dead serious. 26-year-old women can't offer you shit, man. I'm telling you right now. By the time girls, dude, we got girls who are 21, 22 years old with quadruple digit body counts. Somebody sent me an article where one of the contestants on The Bachelorette had slept with 700 guys.
What?
But she was a contestant on The Bachelorette. These women are getting around. So what needs to happen, you need to put yourself in position to be attractive to these young, attractive women before they jump on the Sausage Express. Then and only then do you have even a modicum of a chance to turn one of these into a wife. So that's what I would tell you. I would use the women your age for recreational use only. My friend, you are going to you're going to get your heart broken. You're going to get cheated on. You're going to get used. You're going to get abused. As long as you stay away from it, as long as you don't do one of these things, my friend, you will be in the clear. Do not have children. Listen, you can look at me. I'm a 4-time convicted felon. I've been arrested almost 30 times. I've made every conceivable mistake with every kind of woman imaginable. But I'm sitting here right now in the studio living the life of my dreams for one reason, for one of many reasons. The number one reason is because I do not have any illegitimate children that I know of. These girls are going to try to get you to raw dog them. They're going to try to get you to put babies in them. Do not do it, because the minute you knock a girl up, dude, your life has changed forever, even in your 70s and 80s. So just understand that the choices you make, discipline now, it's going to serve you well. So by the time you're 35 with your military pension and whatever awesome job you have making 6 figures, guess what? You're going to have 18, 19, 20-year-old hot girls. Oh, okay, well, what's going on with this guy? Girls that are 18, 19 years old, they don't want 18, 19-year-olds. Want to know why? Because when we're 18, 19 years old, we're fucking losers. Dude, we don't have any facial hair. We got no education. You were in the military. I wish I had been in the military. You, my friend, the fact that you have found this community at this age, you are in the driver's seat. As far as your mother is concerned, understand that she means well and she's trying to help you, but you can respectfully decline her advice without actually telling her you're declining her advice. I stopped listening to my mom's love advice a long time ago, and it served me well. I didn't say, "Hey, Mom, this is Donovan. I love you, but I can't listen to your advice." There was no official call like that.
Understood.
I just stopped listening to her advice, and now look at me. And I think you said something a little bit earlier. Oh, the reason why your mother is advising you like this is, number one, because she's a woman. Number two, the only successful relationship that she's been in is the one that she's been able to lead. Because from what you're telling me, it sounds to me like she's the leader in the relationship. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. My mama run the house. Her husband don't. Yeah.
Yeah, my mom ran the household as well, and my mom and dad ended up. Now, I'm not saying that your mom's going to end up divorced, but anytime you have a woman who is leading her marriage, giving you advice, what she is going to do, like Devon said, she's going to give you it. She's only going to give you advice based on what she knows to work. Right. As far as she's concerned, the woman being the leader and the man following is the way it works for her. That works for her. That is not going to work for you. And you can always respectfully, like I said, you can, "Hey, Mom, I respectfully disagree," or you can just kind of be like, "Yeah, I know what you mean," or just tell her, "Yeah, you're probably right. I probably should do this." Then when you're 35 years old and you're walking in with your 19, 20-year-old baddie, she's going to be like, "Wow, so you took my advice and it worked." You can just look at her, "Yep, sure did, Mama. Absolutely."
Understood.
I'll give you the last word,
Understood. Man. Okay. Well, that was it. I appreciate it. My biggest thing was just understanding. My last relationship, I was dating a 38-year-old.
Okay.
I think she was 38. She was born in 88.
Okay.
Originally my mom used to be real big on, "You gonna date an older woman. You gonna date an older woman."
God. Unbelievable.
And I did. She was born in 88. I was born in 96. My mama was born in 78. So she was right in the middle.
God, he said 78. I'm old enough to be this kid's mom.
and it was going well for a little bit.
What happened? Why did it end?
I think she cooked every day. She always made sure she was clean. She was always at the house. She always did something. But I would be lying to you if I lied to you, Don, because there was a moment where she was like, "How come you don't never post me online?" Because at that point, I kind of already knew it was just sex, and I didn't want to make it serious.
There it is.
And that's what ultimately it was. And when as soon as she kind of realized that, and I told her, I said, "Hey, maybe we should just end this relationship." and that's when it kind of switched.
Okay.
You know, and I realized that, you know, like she know a lot, you know, she's smart, she older than me, so she knows.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah. And I kind of got caught, and this is for anybody out there, but in the state of Georgia and Cobb County specifically, if somebody, even if they're just if y'all are having casual sex for 30 days straight, if she can prove that she's been there for 30 days straight, you can't just kick her out.
That's right.
And that created and that's what ultimately led to the conversation that we had.
There you go.
Because I was just like, okay, my mom said date somebody older. I don't want to date her older. You know, I'm talking to her thinking, you know, she told me she was a career woman. She did all this stuff when I was in high school and everything else. Come to find out, she's been working at Magic City for the past 12 years.
Oh, no, it's a strip
club.
know.
Oh, really?
Unbelievable.
And so I'm, you know, so for me, it was just like, okay, now I'm understanding where y'all are saying, like, yeah, they get to a point where then they're like, you know what, I don't want to be for the streets no more. I want to get shit together. So I see what you mean. I thank y'all. I don't want to be on, you know, I don't want to take up too much of y'all time.
No, listen, I'm going to tell you,
look,
I'm going to tell you one last story that hopefully will make you feel a lot better. So I'm the oldest of 5, and I have 2 younger brothers. The brother that's not the youngest brother, my middle brother with an M, before he chose his wife, he had a choice between 2 women. He was dating 2 women at once. He was ready to get married and ready to have a family. One girl was beautiful. She was outgoing. She was boisterous. She was vivacious. She had this bustling media career, et cetera, et cetera. Like, she was beautiful and this and that and the third. The other girl was a dance teacher, but she was reserved. She was very, very mellow, very submissive, very, basically a Stepford type wife. My mother advised my brother to marry the first girl, the girl who was beautiful and vivacious and outgoing, et cetera, et cetera. My brother ended up marrying the second girl because something in his mind told him that even though this girl would look much better on my arm, this girl is going to be a much better wife. And guess what? My mother and my brother still have a wonderful relationship. My mother wanted him to choose. This is not even somebody he dated. This is someone he married, and he is still married to her to this day. They have 2. Oh my God, his kids are freaking cute as a button. Oh my God. And when my brother chose girl number 1, my mom didn't disown him. Oh my God, what? No, my mom said, okay, congratulations. And that's that. So whatever you decide to do, at the end of the day, as long as you're happy, your mom's going to be happy. Yeah, she'll kick and scream and she'll make her little sideways comments. But in the end, she is your mother and she wants you to be happy. And if what makes you if a girl makes you happy, eventually she'll have to come around and accept that. So I'll just leave you with that.
Understood. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Man.
I appreciate both of y'all.
No problem, man. Thanks for chiming in, brother. Very, very good. So what did you think? What did you think about our friend there?
Yeah, I think this is happening more and more and more with single motherhood, single mother households. Yeah. It's unfortunate because I kind of had a feeling that she led the relationship when he said that his stepdad is not a father figure, not. He didn't have much to say about him at all. He was like, I'm not going to speak on that. Right. But he's been his father for almost half his life.
Sure.
You would think that if the mother wasn't leading the relationship, she would be, okay, this is your dad. He would have more of a say because the father leads the home. There you go. Regardless of biology, so to speak. So that was an indicator to me that it's like we talk about with Kevin Samuels all the time. Mm-hmm. Would you let your boyfriend or new husband spank your kids? And
they're always like, hell no.
Yeah,
right.
So that right there was pretty obvious to me.
I think one question that Kevin always asked that used to always get him: would you want your son to date or marry someone like you?
Yeah,
and that would always get them. I think this guy's mother would probably honestly be like, yeah, I would love for him to marry someone like me. And she would actually believe it, but that's that's not something you should do. You were on point. You gave really, really good advice when you said that his mother only saw a successful relationship from her vantage point. I never ever would have thought about that.
Yeah, because he had mentioned that even his grandparents weren't together. His grandparents. Yeah. So if your grandparents aren't together, then your mother obviously didn't have an example of a healthy, successful relationship in her life. And her first mate or choice or whatever, mother or the father of her children, she's not with him anymore.
Yep.
So that could have very well have been a male-led relationship that she just couldn't handle because she'd never seen that before.
Wow. Yeah, it was foreign to her.
Yeah.
So she didn't know how to function.
Yeah.
Single motherhood gets a single motherhood. Let's get into the super chats here. Shout out to Quincyology. Welcome to Chat Privileges. At Quincyology to welcome him, I presume, to Chat Privileges. If you would, Quincyology, put your age and location in the chat. This is how we build like-minded local communities. Shout out to JBellies11 with the $2 super chat, says, this is gold. Shout out to Manosphere Highlights Daily. Love that dude. Shout out to Quincyology with the €20 super chat. Appreciate that. Geeky Anomaly with the $2 super chat. This is wise stuff. He says, remember, men, your load is worth $250,000 per shot. Your thoughts?
For women, it's
Oh
their
my
whole
God.
life.
It's their entire life. Oh my
Yeah.
God, exactly.
You can put a price tag on either one, so just don't be reckless.
No, don't be reckless. Dick Discipline. That dude's got a lot. Dude, that dude is 20. He's 26, former military, good looking guy, good head on his shoulders. Man, oh man, I'm envious of that dude.
I could tell.
I was like, dude, oh my
Man,
God, I wish I
we
could do
switch
it.
places.
Oh my God. Here's the thing. He said, yeah, I dated an older woman. She was born in 88. And I'm like, wow. His mother was born in 78. I'm like, oh boy, I was born in 77. I'm old enough to be this kid's mom.
Dude, yeah. It kind of tripped my brain too when he said 88 and I'm like trying to do
Wait,
math.
did he mean 60? No, we're officially older now.
Oh, well.
Okay, so
With age comes wisdom.
Yes, and wisdom.
And a lot of mistakes.
And yes, lots and lots and lots of mistakes. Let's go to the next chat here. Ava says, yes, there are vows that are against cheating. The controversial vow was the wife's vow to obey, which didn't apply to the husband. What are your thoughts on that? What do you think Ava's trying to tell us here?
The wife is to obey the husband. The husband doesn't need to obey the wife.
Right. I think it always frustrates me. It makes me laugh and it makes me angry that there are so many women, and this is almost always black women. Their rebuttal is, yeah, but that goes for men too. Women shouldn't sleep around. Well, neither should men. Bitches ain't shit. Well, niggas ain't shit. Every argument, every point we make that they agree with, they always counter with, yeah, well, that goes for men too. Men and women are different.
Well, I mean, if she really wanted to have an argument, you could pull up the 10 Commandments and say, thou shalt not covet my neighbor's wife.
Oh my God.
Right? And that specifically says men should not choose or go after women who are taken. So, I mean, let's mince words here. This isn't theology. This isn't philosophy. This is just reality.
Well, what she's trying to say is that the controversial part was that the wife was supposed to obey the husband, which didn't apply to the husband. You can't obey each other. There's only one captain.
Yeah.
There's one CEO. There's one pilot. There's not a pilot and a co-pilot. This ain't American Airlines, okay? Mm-hmm. There's only one captain. There is no co-captain. There's no associate head coach. You ain't Danny Ainge or whoever the associate coach is for the Celtics is now the main guy. No, there is a leader and a follower, Ava. Obeying your wife does not apply.
You know, it blew my mind when you told me that the pilot never pilots, the co-pilot pilots. The pilot is there in case the co-pilot messes up.
Yeah, what I was talking about, quick story here is so I read a book called Outliers, and in Outliers, and pay attention, guys, because I'll bring this around. There was a chapter in the book called the Power Distance Index. The long and the short of what the Power Distance Index is, the Power Distance Index in the United States is very small, okay? We can criticize the president. We have access to the president via Twitter, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
The Power Distance Index in countries like, say, Cuba or China or Russia, very, very wide. You can't criticize their leaders, otherwise you turn up missing or your family, whatever the case may be. Mm-hmm. You understand the difference. Japan Airlines, I think back in the 1980s, don't quote me on this, they had a string of plane crashes. Planes were crashing a lot more frequently than they should have. And so they hired an outside consulting company to come in. Okay, why are these airlines, why are your planes crashing so much? And so what they did is they listened to the little black box of one of the crashes where the plane just flew right into the mountain. The pilot who was flying the plane, so the co-pilot is, hey, look, man, this cloud cover could make the could make the mountains hard to see. The pilot who was flying the plane, the more experienced of the two, kind of shrugged him off and said, "No, I got this," etc., etc. And so 15 minutes later, they crash into the side.
So the pilot wasn't listening to the subordinate.
The pilot was not listening to the subordinate.
Gotcha.
So, and this is a little... No, oh, I'm sorry, Varun, you're right. It was Korean Airlines. I'm sorry. I apologize. You're absolutely right, Varun. It was not Japan, it was Korean. Thank you for that. That's exactly right. And so what they discovered, and this is interesting. And a lot of people don't realize this about aviation. When you make a flight on American, Delta, Spirit, any other most American-based airline, Southwest, etc., the pilot with the most experience doesn't fly the plane. He is the co-pilot. The pilot with the least amount of experience and the least amount of flight hours actually pilots the plane. That way, when the co-pilot gives a suggestion, the pilot listens because the co-pilot has more experience in the air than the actual pilot.
That makes sense. I had it a little backwards.
Well, no, I understood exactly where you were coming from. The way that works in relationships is the man is always supposed to fly the plane, right? The man is always supposed to fly the plane, but every once in a while, I do have to give the reins over to you if I'm busy doing something.
Right.
But before you make any decisions, you come to the pilot. You understand? So this isn't, and again, and I've talked about this before. This isn't a partnership. This is a relationship, and relationships have a hierarchy. And hierarchy, there is a pecking order. It is me, and then there's you. Sometimes I will bequeath some responsibilities onto you, but you're always asking me, hey, you said to buy X, Y, and Z. Should I do A, B, and C? And I'm like, yes, go ahead and do that.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think the hierarchy is a good example of any high-functioning government, corporation,
Yes.
Any successful entity that gets things done has a hierarchy. There is always someone in charge.
There has to be.
And that doesn't just flip-flop all the time.
No.
It's not like, oh, well, you feel like being in charge today?
Nope.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
So I think that is an apropos way of putting it.
Absolutely. Very good. Yeah. So the controversial vow was the wife's vow to obey, which didn't apply to the husband. It's not supposed to apply to the husband because just like you just said, there can only be one leader and leaders are not interchangeable.
Right.
Because if leaders are interchangeable, then you have no leaders and nobody respects the leadership of others. Okay. Let's go to the next comment here. Okay. Nameless Curmudgeon says, I listened to every word, but I spent the entire podcast admiring Devon's calves and watching the cat. So I guess you have sexy calves.
I guess
now.
so. Flex.
Well, hold on. Let's
go
to the bird's eye. All right, go ahead. Flex the calves. Yeah, your legs are freaking fantastic. Like you have some sexy legs. Like you really, really do.
Well, they're very sore today.
You notice that I don't comment when you tell me how sore you are.
I know, because you don't care.
Well, I care, but I don't want you to get into the habit of bitching and moaning about... there's a comment in here. Let's look at the... So this is funny. Somebody said... Sean Williams says, I wonder if it's just time to import a wife from South America, Eastern Europe, or East Asia. No. If you want a South American, Eastern European, or Asian wife, move to South America, Eastern Europe, or Asia. If you import a wife, Mr. Williams, that wife is eventually going to fall prey to everything around her. And it's interesting. When men import these wives, it's almost as though the women in their lives do their level best to try to sabotage that relationship. Yeah. They get in these women's ears. He's making you cook again? Oh no, you can't be doing that. Yeah. And at some point, they fall victim to the feminist propaganda. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I guess you didn't have anything else on that. Okay.
I don't know much about that topic.
Okay. All right. Very good. Let's go. Okay. Let's see. Kofi. This is an interesting comment. He says, every woman has a breaking point, but particularly if she's with a high-value man, she may be the master of looking the other way if her husband has cheated or cheats until he fathers a child with a mistress or mistresses. Even then, although the percentage drops, some wives even remain married to the man even after her husband has fathered a child or multiple children with other women, namely Rita Marley, Bob Marley's wife. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that?
That's true love. She loves him so much he could do no wrong.
That's not true love. That's true value. Bob Marley is a fucking legend. He's the greatest reggae artist of all time.
Yeah.
Rita Marley wasn't going nowhere. Okay,
No.
so he fathered other kids. He made her the main one. She wore his ring, right?
Right.
We talked about this the other day, and I said it's the figures. If you're worth 8 figures, in other words, if you're worth at least $10 million, you can have your wife and your mistress living under the same roof with you. If you're worth 7 figures, you can have your wife and your mistress living on the same property. She just needs to live in the guest house. If you're worth 6 figures, listen, your wife can know maybe that you have a side chick or a mistress, but if you're worth 5 figures, your wife or girlfriend cannot know that you have a side chick. That's really what this comes down to. I don't know what Bob Marley's net worth was, but he's the greatest reggae artist of all time, which may as well make him a multi-millionaire.
One love, baby.
Yep, that's what it goes. Oh, that's cute. I was going to say tough gong. Mr. says they are taking over fireworks in Japan already, but the Japanese love their fireworks. That was in response to the video we did with the drones. Yeah. Wow. How about that? What are your thoughts on that? Dude, that was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen.
I mean,
that was insanity.
This is the age of eco-friendly, sustainable entertainment. So
all of those drones doing what they, without running into each other, hitting each other.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing.
That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy. Let's go to the next one here. Sharp, you have a pretty girlfriend. Well, that's cute. What do you say to that?
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Very nice. Marcus Laguna says Devon is hot. Well, how about that?
Thank you.
Oh, wait a minute. Marcus Laguna says Devon is hot. Shadow Dancer says she's the only reason I watch this podcast. As Devon gets embarrassed. This is why...
Because of my sense of humor.
Well, this is why I show you these things, to lessen your itch to go get validation from other people on social media. Is I try to share these things with you just to let you know, hey, other men do find you attractive. And should you want to shoot your shot at one of these?
I need, baby.
Oh my God. Good answer. Very good answer. Let's go to the next one. Scheduled, that's interesting, says, why do you know Jigglypuff though? So the reason I know who Jigglypuff is, and Jigglypuff is a Pokemon, is because I used to watch, when I was in my late teens, early 20s, I used to watch this awesome cartoon called The Adventures of Batman. Hang on a second. Oh, no, never mind. Called The Adventures of Batman and Superman. And there was this one crazy commercial that Robin, and it was like another realm. There was Batman, and then there was Kid Robin. He was Robin, but he was a kid, Teen Titans. Okay. And so Tim Drake he's in his bed. He's like, Bruce, read me his story. He's like, I have got to go fight crime. He's like, read me his story, read me Jigglypuff. You guys could look this up on YouTube. He says, Jigglypuff. He's like singing it in the Batman uniform. So I thought that was actually pretty funny. That's the only reason I know who Jigglypuff is.
I thought Jigglypuff was that weird feminist meme.
Oh, you mean Big Red?
No, the purple hair girl. I think was yelling at Milo.
Oh, Milo Yiannopoulos.
I don't know, something like that.
Oh, that could be it. I'm not really up on my...
It's been a while.
Up on my memes. Yeah, okay, very good. Let's go to the next one. Yeah, that's how I know Jigglypuff's scheduled. I like the name, though. Let's see here. Phil Cerna says, why are you out of shape? Put in the work, mister. The reason I'm out of shape is because I got lazy. Bottom line. That's it. I got lazy. And within a few months, I'm literally going to be in the best shape of my life. Listen, man, contrary to popular belief, us Manosphere red pill guys, listen, we're human too. We don't have it all together all the time. That's just how it is. Listen, man, I got lazy. I got out of shape. I'm still not good at time management, as you probably have already discovered. But listen, man, I got lazy, got out of shape. I got really, really busy, and I just didn't prioritize working out.
Lazy is not the word I would use for you. I would say that your time got distracted by other priorities. But at this point, it's just a matter of your health is your number one priority, period. It's time to
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I guess you're probably right. I'm not. I've never ever been lazy. I'm not afraid, dude. I work. Jesus Christ, I probably work longer hours than I should.
Yes.
But what it comes down to is just my lack of time management, man. I've really and I've almost gotten it dialed in. I made a big stride today, and that will actually start tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'm recording tomorrow's content today,
Okay.
which helps me tomorrow.
Okay.
So hopefully, but yeah, listen, I'm very bad at time management, and things just got away from me. It is what it is.
But your legs are sexy though.
Oh my God, here we go. Yeah, I don't get fat anywhere except for my midsection. My arms, everything is. I guess that's my.
Gotta
that's
love
my
40.
genes. Absolutely. Scheduled is in the he's in the chat with the $5 super chat. He says, "Watching Batman, respectable explanation. Great show, guys. Appreciate that, Scheduled. Appreciate that very, very much. Thank you very much for watching. Jigglypuff. Jigglypuff. You guys got to look that up. It was funny as hell because Batman he's getting ready to go fight crime. He's like Jigglypuff, and then Jigglypuff starts to float. Oh, it's crazy.
It makes me wonder why people think that you're not really like this in real life. Like people are like, "Oh, Donovan put on an act. Is he really like this in real life?" Let me just tell you that this guy rewound commercials because he likes the animals in the commercials.
Oh my God.
He sees a cute baby. He sees
Oh
food.
my God.
It's pause, rewind. Did you see that?
Whoa,
yes, honey,
whoa.
I saw it.
Wow.
How come you weren't even looking? I saw it yesterday when you paused and rewinded it, honey.
There is that one pet commercial, the one by Science Diet. I
Yeah.
love that commercial.
The dogs jumping in.
They
the
all
water.
jump in at the same time. Oh my goodness, that's the greatest commercial ever, man. It really is. But yes, I do have a soft side. I think that's isn't that part of the attraction? The fact that I'm like, but then I'm also
Your emotional intelligence, you mean?
Oh my God, Jesus freaking Christ! Emotionally,
Yes.
well, now I am as emotionally stupid as the rest of them.
Well, you're also intelligent to not show your emotions at certain times.
That's very true. Very true.
There's that.
That's very true. Uh-oh. Geeky Anomaly says, "Don't even get Don started on Street Fighter."
Oh, no,
Man, oh my God, dude, that was the game. That was the game. I spent so much. Oh my God, I can't remember. I can't tell you how many quarters. Perfect. All right, very good. Let's see. People are only as loyal as their options. Social media keeps them open. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah.
That is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think George Elder is right. Yeah, you're right. People are only as loyal as their options. This is part of the reason why dating is in the crapper, is because it doesn't matter. The thing is that no matter how good a guy you get, today's women on social media, they always know that and we always say this, there's always a guy out there who's bigger, faster, stronger, richer, has a bigger sausage, blah, 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 blah. Well, social media allows women to seek this stuff out.
Right.
Ergo, they're never satisfied.
Yeah.
They could be with Chris Hemsworth, and they're still on social media looking for Chris Hemsworth just a little bit more.
Plus
Chris Hemsworth plus. Yes. Yeah, like a stream. Yeah, Chris Hemsworth plus, now streaming. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's continue. Omar Lara says, the, quote, most hated Donovan Sharp, ladies and gentlemen. I guess he's probably privy to all of the hate that I've received. You guys have to understand that most of my hate comes really from one direction, from one source. And the reason why this source hates me is because
he ate me.
Well, he hate me because he ain't me. You're so stupid. There you go, trying to be black again. He hate me because he ain't me. No, the reason why this source is, and it's interesting.
I don't even want it to go.
Well, I don't care. I'm going to talk about it. The reason he hates me is because I caused him to expose him. I caused him to expose himself. Yeah. He has gone on when he discovered that I was putting on the Conference of Masculine Excellence. He decided to go on a smear campaign and try to drag my name through the mud, and I've successfully pulled off 2 CMEs. There will be a third. I don't know when. I'll make that announcement as soon as another announcement is made. But he did it to himself. He did it to himself.
You did to him what you do to everybody, and they either love or hate you for it.
What does that mean?
You call them out on their bullshit. You expose them for who they really are, and then you say, okay, are you going to fix this, or are you going to double down on your faults?
Yeah,
and like for me, like, you were not kind to me in the beginning.
Right.
Well, you're still kind of not, but
no, I'm not.
You're very raw and abrasively truthful.
Yeah.
And that rubs people the wrong way. People either go cower and say, oh, you hurt me, or they heal and say, I'm tougher this time.
Yeah.
Let's try again. So it can either bring the best or the worst out of people. And
well, I will
it
say
tends to
this.
go one way or the other with you.
I will say this. When I called out this individual about the lengths that he had gone to humiliate Rollo Tomasi, the fix was already in. He already knew exactly what he was going to do long before I ever did that. It was when I posted that thing on Instagram where we signed that contract with the venue that we signed for the CME. That's when he said, "Oh, well, this can't happen. I'm the only one that can have a quote unquote manosphere conference." And unfortunately, the thing is I'm not the one that destroyed that convention. He did it himself. He has acted like such a clown for so long that people aren't going to pay $2,500 or whatever it is. People aren't going to pay $200 to go.
Have their personal information exploited.
Yeah, listen. Everybody who works with him eventually gets their personal information put out, or if there's something negative put out about them, he goes on the smear campaign. He did it with Jesse Lee Peterson. He's doing it now with John Sonmez. When someone tells him, no, I don't want to speak at your event, he goes on a smear campaign. And men and women now, they're not going to work. It's like he asked them, hey, would you like to speak at my event? They go and they look at his YouTube. Whoa, wait a minute. And then they go and look at the alumni speech. Like, whoa, wait a minute. This guy used to work for him, and this guy used to work with him, and this and that and the other. People are using their common sense. They're like, not only am I not going to pay $250, whatever. The thing started off at $2,500. Now I think the prices are, I don't know, $500. Listen, man, he can't pay people to go to that thing anymore, and it has nothing to do with me. The CME being created had nothing to do with that other event. He did that to himself, and now he's mad, and he's actually ramped up his efforts. He's ramped up his efforts, and his efforts are now more privatized. He's not going after the public stuff. No, now he's fucking around with our merchant accounts, with our Teachable, our Kajabi, the things going on in the back end. So he's continuing, and the reason he's doing this is because he's really, really, really pissed off. He is so pissed off that there's nothing else that he can do. It's over for him, and he doesn't know how to react.
Just a self-destruct mode.
Yep, self-destructive. So that's why people think of me as quote-unquote the most hated, is because of this one guy. I think I've recovered quite nicely, though. Every video this guy puts out about me just further lets everyone know.
It's kind of weird at this point.
Yeah, it's gotten a little bit weird. I'm starting to think he has a crush on me. Derek the Trader, hold on a second. Derek the Trader with the $10 super chat said, funny story. A while back, 2 of my exes contacted me and said they still love me. Both are married with kids. They also know I'm married with a kid. Why do women keep doing this? You want to handle this one first?
They drink too much wine.
Because what?
They drink too much wine and Facebook.
Okay, but the other reasons?
I don't know.
Oh my God, you got to be kidding me! I thought Devin would know. The reason why they're doing this, Derek, is because you have, as a man, your value increases. Let me put the camera on me. As a man, your value increases no matter what. I've seen you. You're a good-looking dude, right? You dated both of your exes when you were younger, and they probably follow you on Facebook or Instagram. They have seen that you become more attractive and more financially stable and more of a family man. That makes you inherently attractive. That's why these women with children who are also married are reaching back out to you and telling you that they love you.
That's so dirty.
It's dirty, but it's the truth. These bitches out here are fucking grimy.
That's weird.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what a woman's relationship status is,
I'll
man.
always love you. I couldn't imagine sending a message like that to any of my exes.
You've never sent an I always love you text to your ex?
No.
Never?
No.
If I had to stop the cat button, I would.
Well, here's the thing. There's a reason for that.
Why?
It's because my ex now I was with for almost 20 years. We didn't have texting back before then.
That's true. Push your microphone in. No, this right here. The top part. You see? There you go. Okay. All right. I guess you're right about that.
See?
Okay. All right. Well, all right. You got
I
by on that one.
technicality'd my way out of that one.
All right. Now, this is interesting. So, Sage Oldman says saying social media destroys relationships is like saying guns kill people. It's not the device, it's the morals of the people using it. All choices come with ramifications, either good, bad, or indifferent. What are your thoughts on that? You think that's cap?
I think that's cap.
Why do you say that?
It's no, guns don't kill people, people kill people. Like that argument. Like, put it this way. Things are used with intent.
Okay.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Tools are used with intent. I can take a hammer, I can build a house. I can take a hammer and I can destroy your house.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, it's not the hammer itself isn't inherently evil or good. It is just amoral, just like we say sex is for
Amoral, not
Right.
immoral.
Amoral.
It's amoral.
right.
Yes.
So, what does it say? I can't read it.
It's a social media saying social media destroys relationships is like saying guns kill people. It's not the device, it's the morals of the people using it. All choices come with ramifications, either good, bad, or indifferent.
Okay, well, social media also causes mental illness, depression.
Yep.
It's known to basically destroy people's lives by triggering deep-seated anxiety, unhappiness, and all kinds of things like competition anxiety and all of these things. Not only that, the misinformation and all of the other. So it's a
Propaganda.
multi-pronged problem. Not just how people use it, say if it destroys relationships, but it destroys relationships in more ways than just cheating.
That's true. That's very true.
And we've seen this on that show, the Digital Addiction Show
Oh
by
my
the
God,
Intervention
yes,
people.
yes,
where
yes, yes,
there's
yes.
people literally it becomes their life. It becomes their full reality rather than their actual reality and the people that they deal with on
Yeah,
a daily basis
yeah.
and their family and things
Okay.
like that. So I think that's trying to oversimplify the problem. I understand what he's trying to say, but honestly, like, yes, you know, the morals of the people using it, but there are inherent dangers. It's like saying cigarettes don't kill people. People who smoke cigarettes kill people.
I like that.
You know, like it's just, it's kind of a weird way to make an argument.
Yeah, to me, it's a there is some truth in what he's saying, but to me that's a non-starter, and that's a very poor example. And I'll put it to you this way: okay, guns don't kill people, people kill people, but social media destroys people's lives and relationships at a far higher rate than guns kill people. You understand what I mean? Mm-hmm. People, dude, not everybody has weapons. Everybody has access to social media, number one.
Right.
Number two, you have to go to classes and you have to buy equipment in order to fire these projectiles.
You don't need a permit for an Instagram
You don't need a
account.
permit for an you don't need a permit for an Instagram account. You don't have to register or anything like that. Number one. Number two, those projectile weapons, I don't want to say the word too much. Those projectile weapons are always used with the intent of taking, whether it's target practice or law enforcement, whatever the case may be. Social media, the purpose of social media is said to just be social. Social media it's become the number, honestly, Manning, you're right. I'm thinking about this. It's the number one for depression, anxiety, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
So listen, he talks about the morals of the people using it. I don't like when people try to bring the moral cathedral into relationships. Guys, fuck your morality. I don't care about your morality, man. And I'm not trying to be mean-spirited here to Sage Oldman, but he's probably the type of commenter that would say, well, it shouldn't be like this. Women shouldn't act this way. While I would agree, this is the way they are.
Yeah, morality should govern people's behavior,
Yeah, but it doesn't.
but it doesn't. Consequences
Well, no.
are what controls people's behavior.
Consequences control people's behavior. Morality influence people's behavior, but biology dictates it.
There you go.
You understand what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
People are going to do what they are biologically designed to do. Now, some people fight their inherent flawed biology. I'm sure that there are people out here who could be serial killers if they wanted to because they've got it in them, but they don't want the consequences, right?
Right.
But then we've got guys like Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, et cetera, et cetera. They did what their effed up biology did.
I finished that new Netflix Dahmer
Oh, how was that?
series.
Was it good?
Weird. Yeah, it's
It was
creepy.
weird.
Yeah.
They picked the perfect guy for it too.
Yeah, they did. They did a great actor. But
Evan Peters.
I thought it would just be like another documentary thing about Jeffrey Dahmer, but it really did a good job of telling the story from different point of view, from his parents' point of view, from his neighbor's point of view, from his, his boyfriends and some of his victims.
Did you ever watch
And it's really it's a travesty of justice that this guy didn't get caught over and over and over again before they finally caught him. Like everyone knew what he was doing.
But nobody.
But no one, because he lived in a poor black neighborhood, the cops wouldn't take his black neighbors seriously. And
wow! Now that I didn't know.
He was also preying on a lot of young black men, gay black men. So now you're gay and black and in a bad neighborhood, and now this white guy is just running roughshod over everyone.
Moly, good God! Now that I didn't know. Yes. Did you ever see the Ted Bundy movie with Zac Efron?
Yeah.
That was really well done. Mm-hmm. Who else was in that movie? Who? Haley Joel Osment, the kid from The Sixth Sense. I See Dead People. Yeah, okay. Yeah. He has not aged well. He's not as cute as he used to be. Not as cute as he used to be.
Macaulay Culkin. Ugh.
Oh God, he looks like a weirdo.
Oh, and Sean Astin from Goonies.
Yeah, but he looks like an adult.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Okay.
I just, I just finished watching Lord of the Rings, all the Lord of the Rings movies again. Yeah. Wow, he came a long way from Goonies, because I was like, oh my God, he's so cute.
One-Eyed Willie. Yeah, right. Remember, everybody had a crush on him because of One-Eyed Willie.
And now I'm like, ugh.
Said Sean Astin. I don't know. He kind of grew up in Rudy, but Derek the Trader with the $10 super chat says, Donovan, based on your experience, what percentage of women are, I imagine he's saying, sexually loyal to their men? I don't know, maybe 25%, and that might even be a generous number.
I think it's generational.
Okay, well, based on us being in Generation X, then yeah, definitely 25%. Yeah, 25%, and that might even be a conservative, a liberal number. Double D, $10. $10 says, what would an ex reach out after 2 years of no contact and blaming you for their shortcomings in life and a quote-unquote noit roba on me? What would she reach out to you after 2? Well, here's what happened, Double D, is she got knocked up by somebody else. That somebody else could not give less of a shit about her. And so what she's doing is projecting her feelings for the guy that knocked her up and forced her to get the noit roba onto you. And the reason why she reached out to you is because she knows she can talk to you in that way. She knows that you would take an earful. The guy who actually knocked her up, he probably would put hands on her if she were to talk to him the way she talked to you.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Emotional punching bag.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's just an easy target.
Yeah. Okay. That's what you think? That's your
yeah,
thing? Okay.
Yeah, that's what I think. I honestly don't know why he would even.
Yeah, I think that's the reason why.
That.
2 years of no content, man.
Contact, yeah.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, you're blame all my problems. It's
like, bitch, it's been 2 years. That kid ain't mine. Like, go talk to the baby. Go talk to the baby daddy. Good God. All right, let's get a couple more here before we close this thing out because I think it's the Browns and the Steelers tonight. Oh. So that'll be. And no, I don't have any players who are hurt starting for me. By the way, I only lost that game by 16 points.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
So if I had put in Hollywood Brown, I would have had a much better chance to win. You live and learn. I'm the defending champion. I'm allowed to make those mistakes. This video is gold for the quote "show it to your girl" category. Explains things simply. That was the how to become wife-like. The all of the things that you should do to become wife-like. Appreciate that. Purple. SSL. Says disagreements are a part of a healthy relationship. Benefits in a relationship are twofold. A wannabe wife has to act as such. It's not about the romantic aspect. It's about the hardships endured. 100%. What are your thoughts on that?
What's the beginning part say?
It says disagreement. Yeah, you can't see because it's blocking. Yeah. It's okay. It says disagreements are a part of a healthy relationship.
Yes, it is, but how you disagree is what
That's
determines
exactly
whether
right.
the relationship is healthy or not.
That's exactly right. I can think of maybe 1 or 2 times where you disagreed disrespectfully, and that was back when we first started talking. We didn't know any better.
Yeah.
But anytime you disagree, you do it very tactfully. You do it very femininely, if that's a word. I never feel disrespected by you when you disagree with something I say.
Well,
or
just
do.
because someone disagrees with you doesn't mean they're disrespecting you too. That's what I mean by the how.
There you go. But right, and if you disagree with someone respectfully, they're not going to feel disrespected.
Right, and you do that by saying, "I respectfully disagree." No, I'm just kidding. You know, people
Dude,
do that,
9 times out of 10 when they say I respectfully disagree, they're
you're
doing
wrong.
it disrespectfully. Yeah.
It's like, no offense, but you're
No
right.
offense, but I'm going to offend you. Right, exactly. With all due respect, I'm going to not show you any. Yeah, that's how that goes. Yeah. Geeky Anomaly in the chat says, disagree, but also cooperate, ladies. Juan Antonio with the $5 super chat says, Haley Joel Osment, cocaine is a hell of a drug. Rick James, what you got?
I was going to say, you also need to select what you're disagreeing with.
Yes.
Because you can be a very disagreeable person.
Oh my God.
And disagree about everything. And like, you really got to pick your battles, especially, you know, as a woman, if you're going to voice up and say, hey, you know, I disagree with this, it's got to be important enough to even bother arguing about or starting a conversation about. If you disagree that he puts the big spoons in the little spoon slot instead of the, you know, like, hey, what's it worth to you?
Right.
What's your piece? What's his piece worth to you? And it's like, okay, I'll just go ahead and do this. Or I'll just put the big spoons in the little spot and little spoons in the big spot too.
There you go. No harm, no foul. I agree with you 100%. I'm a very disagreeable person, sometimes to a fault.
You didn't know that really bothered me, did you?
Sometimes I do realize that it bothers you.
Just kidding.
No, sometimes my disagreeableness, I know sometimes frustrates you, but that's just how I am. That's just how I am. My initial reaction is to push back, and I try to be a little bit more discerning, but it's better for me to be disagreeable as a man than for you to be disagreeable as a woman.
Yeah, I struggle with that too, because I tend to be more disagreeable about ideas.
Oh my God.
And things that aren't real. Yeah.
Dude, oh my God. Sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going to tell you something. I want you to tell me what's right about it rather than what's wrong about it. Oh my God, yeah. That's one of my pet peeves.
I told him I'm not disagreeing, I'm troubleshooting.
That was actually, even though I was pissed off, but that was funny. I'm not disagreeing, I'm troubleshooting.
I'm trying to find the problems before they happen.
Yes,
honey.
there you go. Yeah, of course. Let's go to the next one. I'm 26 years old, and I learn a lot here from Professor Donovan at the University of How to Relationship. Appreciate that, Omar. Appreciate that very much. Spark Pine says, one of the realest ladies I've ever heard. Oh, cool. Well, isn't that nice talking about you? Yes. Master REB says, Donovan's girls trip example was very oddly specific. I had a friend named Alexei who smashed this married chick on a girls trip, and for whatever reason he gave the bitch his number, and she called him up and said, oh my God, somehow my husband found out and blah 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 blah. And he's like, how did he find out? Like, I think she lived in, I forgot where she lived. But anyway, that's why it was oddly specific, because we knew a dude named Alexei who used to smash married chicks. It is what it is. Big Sky says, gentlemen, before you call the woman in your life your wife, check the laws of the state you live in. I live in Colorado. If I had ever called a woman I was living with for 8 years my wife in public, and people had a reasonable explanation of that being true, I could be considered legally married under common law marriage. I made damn sure that I always called her my girlfriend, and if anyone referred to her as my wife, I corrected them in short order. You got to check your laws. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean,
not much to add there.
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, people are going to bend reality to fit their will.
Yep.
So you got to protect yourself.
Just like the dude who had called in earlier, the woman in Georgia, I think she was well aware of the fact that the laws in Cobb County, if somebody stays with you for 30 days, you can't just kick them out.
Yeah, that's weird.
And that's
like, who wants to be with someone who, like, hey, I'm here on a technicality.
They know,
you can't
dude. I'm telling you.
Out. Like,
listen, man. But dude, she used to work at the strip club. She was trying to get it in. She didn't want it. The streets is getting cold. The streets was cold. So, you know. Last but certainly not least, Norwegian Goddess says, it's not complicated. Both men and women are called to submit. Men to God and women to their husbands. I don't see a lot of God-fearing men submitting to God. And according to your logic, women are followers. And I would agree. So until men start being the leaders they were supposed to be, you will not see a change in women who feel like they need to lead because the men are lackluster, snapping their fingers, saying they deserve a feminine, submissive woman. No, it starts with you. It's life. It's not fair. Grab your bootstraps and get going. We got work to do.
There are plenty of guys out there that don't want to lead a relationship. They don't want to be in charge. They don't want to be responsible for everything, the health of the family, the financial health of the household. A lot of guys out there are saying, oh, you want to lead? You want to be the boss? Go for it. You know, I'll just be along for the ride, do what I enjoy doing in life, and you can worry about all this other stuff. Like, there are a lot, especially Gen X, Gen Zers, that are like that. They're just like, you know, they don't leave their parents' house till they're 30 years old, and then want a woman to just go ahead and make sure all the bills are paid and everything else, and they just do the bare minimum to get by.
This is bullshit. Norwegian Goddess is a black woman. I'm 100% certain of it. I know she's a black woman because, see, this is the thing. This is the thing that black women, this is what they love to try to do. What Norwegian Goddess just tried to do is she tried to indirectly take a man's power. If we submit to God, if I'm not going to submit to you until you submit to God, right? So what she is saying is that the man is not the head of household. God is the head of household. And when that happens and you try to tell your wife what to do, you can't tell me what to do. You're not God. You're not seated at the right hand of the Father. That's the first thing. The second thing, women like to bring in religion when they're trying to usurp a man's authority. Okay?
Okay.
Look, Norwegian Goddess, dude, fuck your religion. I submit to no one. I submit to absolutely no one. Is there a God? I don't know. I would like to think there probably is. But if you're not going to submit to me and I'm here and I'm living intangible, how the fuck do you expect me to submit to someone I've never seen, touched, tasted, or smelled?
Do you think that it's because men should submit to God as a higher power to keep them accountable? And
accountable to who? God.
To God.
But
Like,
how is God? Well, you're right. How is God going to keep me accountable? How does God keep me accountable? How would he do that? Hold on, let me ask you. No, hold on. There's no such thing as karma. It's just cause and effect. How do I keep you accountable?
God, how don't you keep me accountable?
If you slack off, what happens?
You let me know?
Right. If I slack off, how's God going to let me know? Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm talking
your
about.
Health and things
No. That's not God. The reason I'm fat is because I ate too much and didn't exercise enough. It wasn't God. All right, I'm going to make Donovan fat to let him know. No, that is simply, that's biological cause and effect.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to say, well, there's no such thing as karma. There are consequences. There are sequences and consequences. There are actions and reactions.
So it's like if men are going to control the behavior of their wives, then the men have to at least be under the control of God or something else. It's almost like it's a way of skirting submission.
Yes,
I'll
exactly.
be submissive to you if you're submissive to this.
There you go.
So that way you're still submissive.
Yes.
To something.
That's it. Black women do not want black men. They don't want men to be in charge. And if you submit to God, then you're not the leader of your life. You're not really the head of household. That's why when she says it's not complicated, both men and women are called to submit. No, Norwegian Goddess. Women are called to submit. Men are called to conquer. That's why we conquer both men and women. As far as I'm concerned, somebody said God. Yeah. God put me in charge, Norwegian Goddess. And oh, by the way, let's not let this get by. This little heresy. She called herself a goddess. So I'm supposed to submit to God, but you're supposed to be a goddess?
Yeah. Where's the thunderbolts and the...
Yeah, the reason I know this woman is black is because she went over the top by calling herself a Norwegian. She might as well have called herself a Norse Viking goddess. Dude, like, Shaniqua, like, really? Come on, man. Like, come on. Dude, I swear to God, it's funny, what black women try to do, they try to make comments as white men or white women.
Yeah.
They say, I'm a white man and I love black women. No. You're a black woman trying to prove a point by lying. Get the fuck out of here. Final thoughts on tonight's show.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I like that we covered a lot of different topics. And I really enjoy people zooming in to talk to us.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, I hope that more people do that. I really encourage you to, what is it, Tuesdays Saturdays and Sundays at
Yep.
7:00.
Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays. Mhm.
7:00. Just if you're not doing nothing, zoom in, tell us what's on your mind, tell us what problems you're having in your relationship. Or you can send us a video message to advice@donovansharp.com. And we can play it on the air and answer it. If you're not available, we can always just go ahead and do it that way too. Some people
That's a good, we should start advertising that more.
So give us a video voicemail if you'd like. And have a great night.
Okay, got a couple of more super chats here. So Derek the Trader says, went out with a Swedish model when I lived in Dubai. She listed her status on Facebook as in a relationship with some guy back in Sweden. After she was done with me, she also made her way around town. This is why long-distance relationships never work. Geeky Anomaly says...
Doing in Dubai?
Oh, my God. Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Don't even get me started on that. Geeky Anomaly with the $10 super chat says, her comment indirectly suggests that only Christians are capable of having good relationships, then explain all the non-Christians in healthy relationships. She can't, because black women can't really see past their own inadequacy. And you can tell them I said that. That's no surprise. When Fresh and Fit say it, they go viral. When I say it, they expect that from me.
Yeah.
You know how that goes. That is going to do it for this, the 5th episode of the How to Relationship podcast. Devin and I are going to now watch the Browns and the Steelers, and we will see you guys